third career Super Speedway Pork Pole Award. That is Steve Wallace. Outside of him, a very strong Dodge driven by Scott Lagasse.
And Rick, Scott Lagasse's car, they got it out of the paint shop yesterday. I mean, the day before yesterday, the guys at Ganassi had to help them put this car together. They thrashed. It's a brand new car for them. It's an ex-Ganassi Cup car, so he was real happy with the performance on that piece.
Blake Bjorklund celebrated his birthday yesterday, just turned 21. He'll start on the outside of row 4.
Mario Goslin's always run so good, and he just really feels good about today. He says, I got good grip into the track. A lot of these guys been chasing this racetrack this weekend, but my car's been real consistent all day.
Only 2 cars, 2 drivers in the field that have won at this racetrack before, and that being Frank Kimmel, who starts up toward the front, as well as Dwayne Bryan, who had a pretty good qualifying effort.
Well, as a driver, I mean, that's a big confidence builder, especially for young Dwayne Bryan. You know, coming here, the track being so unpredictable with all the different conditions, and to come here and say, hey, I've won there before, big confidence builder.
When you say different conditions, we are actually running simultaneously, or we will run in conjunction with the IRL, and they run on a different tire compound.
Well, they run on the Firestone compound, and we found that, you know, guys have been complaining all day yesterday when they came here in practice, just couldn't get a hold of the racetrack, and they're kind of attributing that to the tire.
We ride along with a few different cars today, one of those being Philip Magilton in the number 42. He'll start in the 21st position.
Here we see Mario Goslin starting 9th again. Really a hold of this racetrack. He says, man, I'm going to have a good race car here today. It was real good in the long run, real important in Chicago.
Familiar name to the ARCA REMAX Series, but a different number. Justin Marks in the 65 will also carry one of our cameras. He will start in the 7th position. Frank Kimmel starting 3rd in the number 46 Pork car. Got a good view of the front row from him.
Here you see Stephen Wallace, not a new car, but it's one of Rusty's other cars that they haven't really been run that much. And he said, man, I'm just so excited. He said the other car was so dominant. This one feels even better here.
A lot of cars tried to qualify for this race. Yesterday, qualifying was held. Here are the drivers that did not make the field going home. Probably the one name that's the biggest on there is former winner this season, Brent Sherman.
Well, you're right, because he was so awesome in practice, had such a good race car, spun coming off of turn 2 on the get-up lap when he took the green flag, and unfortunate flat spotted all 4 tires and had to go home.
Unbelievable that Brent Sherman not able to make this field. Going to the back, a few drivers making some changes to their cars. Those are the 4 that will move to the back for the start of this one. And it's about to get underway. The green flag is in the air. Stephen Wallace and Scott Lagasse battled at the start finish line. We're underway.
Outside only, outside. Side, clear, clear.
Stephen Wallace hugging the white line on the inside of this racetrack, a preferred line. But we're going to see some side-by-side racing, even in the corners, Dan.
Well, we are. This track now, you know, when this track was built years back, it just had a bottom groove. But through the past 2-3 years, we've created a second groove in this racetrack. So important to come such a beautiful track like this and have a
problems
second groove.
early on. The 65 getting spun around, and then behind him,
Bobby Gerhart in the 5 car.
Bobby Gerhart, second in points, and still it continues.
8 car.
Drivers just not slowing down in time.
Howard Bixon, Brent Rowe, 90 car. Just a big pile up there. Tough break for Bobby Gerhart. Again, him and Frank Kimmel have bounced back and forth in this points chase, and this is just not what he wanted to see here today.
So a chain reaction taking place. The 65 gets turned around early. That's Justin Marks. Then these cars coming back in. Howard Bixman in the 8. The 62 of Brian Keltrider. They're working on him currently. And you see the safety crews there immediately.
Just looked like somebody had gotten loose in the front of the pack. And we carry so much speed here at Chicagoland. When you get down in the corner, if a guy gets loose, it's unfortunate, nowhere to go. There you see 65 Justin Marks, left front tire flat, left rear bumper heavily damaged.
Then lap 1.
Awful early in the race. Well, we talked about it, Rick, and it could be an issue of this tire rubber, this Firestone rubber that was down on the racetrack right now. The Indy cars practiced here for the last hour or so. Possibly this rubber, it's going to take some 20 laps or so to get some Hoosier rubber down on this racetrack. We won't really know that for sure until we get back on a green flag run and just see how these cars react.
Guys not reacting to the caution lights coming on and getting into the back of other drivers trying to avoid. We take another look at what happened. There's a 65 right there getting loose.
Yep, looks like possibly the air off the car. There was a car underneath the 65 car Justin Marks, just really nowhere to go.
And we see Bobby Gerhart in the 5 and the 8 of Howard Bixman, and now sliding in there, that's the 62, as well as the 90.
Just couldn't get slowed down, Rick, on that apron. It gets awful slippery.
Yeah, and I think they made the choice that they were going to try to go low, and then the next thing you know, they've got a car sideways in front of them.
Yep. There's another look. You see Justin Marks just get loose on that outside groove. Car just got loose, nothing he could do. He's run right up the racetrack, 25 years old. Raced in the Rolex 24 Hours, prototype cars. 4 victories in the Grand Am cars, a lot of experience.
Riding along with Justin Marks. Again, just on the outside of the 9.
Swiggled.
Yep.
Again, a little early to be racing, Rick. First lap, got to get some heat in these tires and don't really know what this racetrack's going to do.
Let's go trackside. Don Radebaugh.
And the Lucas Oil crew will go to work on the 5 cars best as they can, pulling sheet metal away from wheels all the way around the Lucas Oil Chevrolet. This is very significant because keep in mind, Bobby Gerhart is currently leading the Super Speedway Challenge points, which is a point accumulation of all the Super Speedways, and this is really going to hurt his chances. They beat and bang on it, but it won't work like it was.
Again, a Super Speedway, you've got to have the little bit of aerodynamic that you're going to utilize around this racetrack, and Gerhart's is definitely affected.
Well, aerodynamics is a must here, and if they can get that the inner wells pulled off that tire, he'll be able to proceed and possibly be okay.
Early in the race, first caution coming out on lap 1. Steve Wallace out in front. Chip Ganassi watching on as he has a couple drivers out there that are working on improving their skills in this series.
Yep, he does. That Cunningham Motorsports Scott Lagacy entry is one of his. Keeping an eye on that piece.
It's Howard Bixman in the 8 that gets pulled back in behind the wall, and a lot of damage done to quite a few cars, and obviously safety is a big issue in the ARCA REMAX series. Let's take a look at our Hardcore Motorsports Safety Initiative, talking about communication.
Is key no matter what you're doing, but it's especially important on the racetrack. Here in the ARCA REMAX series, there are multiple ways to communicate when a caution comes out.
Put it out, 3 and 4, put it out.
They say it on the radio. My spotter's listening on the scanner to ARCA also. They'll say put it out, caution's coming out. He keys up, tells me immediately. And like I say, most of the time, I'll see a light or something before he even says it. So, you know, if somebody says they didn't know a caution's out, they're not paying attention very well.
Green, green, green.
In our sport, we don't have timeouts. The green flag flies, and you don't get a break until after the checkered flag. So a lot happens, and even when the race is running and seemingly there's just not much going on, there's a constant flow of communications from the spotter stand to the pit road officials to the spotters around the racetrack to all the crews stationed in the emergency vehicles, and so that's how we try to keep up with what's all's going on the racetrack. So that's one thing, is we try to manage all that communication and have it flow in a way that it helps the team stay aware of what's going on and helps us keep some sort of control over the race.
Could have been a little failure of communication there with some of those cars coming in late and getting involved in that accident.
Well, you're exactly right, Rick, and I help consult a few drivers, the young guys up and coming. The biggest thing that I stress is communication, because we as drivers, if we can communicate with our spotter and also the drivers in front of us, behind us, whether it be with hand signals or whatever, that'll prevent accidents, and that's big. And ARCA has gone one step forward with the yellow light on the dashboard, and that's big as a driver, because that really helps if your spotter does miss it.
Smooth sailing right now for Steve Wallace, as he's actually only completed 1 lap under green flag conditions. Caution coming out behind him as accident taking place with the 65 again of Justin Marks starting the chain reaction behind him. Quite a few cars involved, 4 of them with major damage. We'll be back with more from Chicagoland. Welcome back. The New South Lemonade of Stephen Wallace. That car still out in front of the field as we continue to be under caution after our first lap incident. See some of the work being done there, and the reason for that is because of this.
Justin just drives in, car gets loose, possibly some air on the inside of the car was gone from the car below him, and just a big pileup, nowhere to go.
Chain reaction behind them, cars coming in a little bit too quick. Again, just a little wiggle right here.
Yep.
Sends him up the track, backs it into the wall.
Got real close to Tim Russell in the 9 car. Possibly when you get that close too, you lose all the air off the front nose of the car and also the back spoiler.
Riding along with Phil Magilton as everything takes place in front of him. This is how difficult it is to navigate through in that situation.
That hole goes away in a hurry, don't it, Rick?
Definitely
closes
does.
up.
Well, let's head down to Don. I see Don standing there outside of the car, standing next to Justin Marks. Don?
Yeah, Rick, they're doing what they can down here, beating and banging on this $100,000 race machine. They've had hammers on it. Louisville Sluggers trying to do whatever they can to make it look somewhat like it once did. I don't think they'll get there. We're going to talk to Justin Marks here real quick if we could. Justin, what exactly happened out there for you?
Well, I just think there wasn't a lot of rubber in the track right there at the start, and it was just a different deal with the IRL cars running out there. And I tried not to be too aggressive, and I got up on the outside and just gotten some loose stuff there, and we lost it. And I just feel bad for everybody. It's a great race team, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Didn't hold up my end of the bargain today, but we'll be back at Salem and go get them.
All right, Dan, that was interesting. He commented on the Firestone rubber. There were other drivers concerned about the Firestone rubber from the Indy cars. What's your take on that?
Well, guys, we talked about it. When we go green here again, we'll just have to see what happens here. We haven't gotten a run long enough, Rick, to really tell what's really going to happen. But as drivers know now, I'm sure all the spotters are telling them, take it easy out there. Let's get some Hoosier rubber down and see what happens.
And so they continue to work on the 65. Quite a few cars have come down pit road to do other service to their vehicles. We'll be going back to racing when we come back to Chicagoland Speedway. And welcome back. About to go back to racing at Chicagoland Speedway. Out in front of the field, that is the 61 of Steve Wallace, and right behind him, Scott Lagasse. Two very strong cars. Brandon Witt, Frank Kimmel, and Ryan Foster are top 5 as the green flag flies in Chicago. Scott Lagasse not coming up to speed as quick in the 51 of Brandon Witt making his way by. He tried to get on the inside, wasn't able to do it. Scott Lagasse holds on to second.
Brandon got a really good restart there. It looked like maybe Scott Lagasse spun his tires, but when he drove down into one, Scott was able to stand back on it and get back by him.
Those are 3 very strong cars out in front of this field right now. Brandon Witt bringing his own car to this racetrack. Lindsay?
I was able to talk to Brandon Witt just as he was getting in his car to start the race, and Brandon said he feels so good about the team chemistry and the milestones that they've made, being able to talk to each other to know what he needs. Guys?
Yeah, a little spin in front of you there, Lindsay. The 59 of Ryan Howard got turned around, and the caution comes out once again, the second caution of the day, and we're only on lap number 12.
Well, Ryan tied for second in the rookie points in the Williams Brothers lumber car. This kid works hard on the race car all week. He works in the race shop with Mark Gibson. Big part of that operation. Has done just an extremely great job this year, in my opinion, of keeping that car in points. He's 4th in points right now, tied second in rookie points.
And I know this didn't affect it, but Dan, take a look at the Speedy Dry that is still on the racetrack, and that is right in front of pit road entrance. I can't believe they haven't cleaned this off.
Well, that's not right. I mean, they know that the cars, as a driver, when we come down pit road, we try and get every inch that we can to our advantage. So we come down here hard. We're usually really hard on the brake pedal right through this zone, and this could cause a problem, I guarantee you, under a green flag or even a regular caution flag condition.
Yeah, and I don't think this had anything to do with the 59 as we take another look. He got sideways coming out of 4, but he slides by it.
Yep. And Ryan does a good job of holding on to the race car and getting it pointed down pit row. See, he comes off the corner, just gets loose. Really, the car behind him not close enough to lose the air off the spoiler, so that car obviously a little bit loose. Again, Firestone rubber, some of these cars the cars that are off a little bit, it's just gonna really make them that much worse. They have to really be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, and that was right in front of Phil Magilton. We ride along with him. He had a front row seat to Ryan Howard's spin.
Well, Phil did a good job of not jumping on the brake pedal and getting out of the gas a little bit and let Ryan Howard get by him in that Williams Brothers lumber car. And again, Ryan's okay. I'm not sure if a lot of smoke out of that car. He may have flat spotted them tires, so you may see him down pit road to get some tires.
Guy that's maybe not so familiar with turning left all the time is Michael McDowell. Lindsay, what's going on with the two?
Well, you're exactly right when you say he's not used to that, because he is the Star Mazda champion from 2003. But man, this is not the way he wanted to begin, or shall we say possibly end this race. He was having massive problems. They brought his car down on pit road right after that incident on lap 1. They said that the car got banged into and it caused a denting in the left rear panel. So they obviously took the car behind the wall. They're working on it. Not sure if they're going to be able to get him back out. But then they did add that their main concern was just getting Mike laps anyway, guys.
You see McDowell and Eddie Sharp, car owner there, team owner Eddie Sharp, consulting with them. Talked to Eddie before qualifying yesterday, and he said, we're going to be all right. This kid's a good wheel. He's raced a lot of cars, and he'll be okay in the future.
Don Radebaugh.
Well, guys, here's another good wheel. Ryan Howard. They're going to go to work on this damaged race car, changing right side tires for sure. Coming off a career best finish of 7th at Toledo Speedway. Dan mentioned he's 4th in overall points. And I got to tell you guys, this Williams Brothers Lumber crew, they do a lot with a little compared to some of the rookies on this tour who have much more resources than this team does, owned by Mark Gibson, longtime competitor on the tour. But I got to tell you, these guys do a lot with a little. And I want to certainly throw it out there for Ryan Howard, who's done a great job of wheeling this car. Although he's stalled now, got it going again. Yep, down and away.
And just a spin, no contact made with the 59, so just had to change those tires and get it back out on the track.
Don, you're very right. A lot with a little for that 59 car, Williams Brothers Lumber.
Pace car about to make its way onto pit road again, leaving the field back in the hands of the 61 of Stephen Wallace. Well, let's try it again. Let's see if we can get more than one lap of green flag racing under our belt. Get these guys in a little bit of a comfort zone.
Clear, clear.
The restart taking place. Again, Scott Lagasse second, Brandon Witt, Frank Kimmel, Ryan Foster still your top 5. Then it's Tim Russell, Dexter Bean, Blake Bjorklund, Mario Goslin, and AJ Henriksen, your top 10.
And what these drivers have got to do, I mean, we've seen it a couple times now. They've got to settle in. The spotter's got to talk to them. Says, take it easy. Let's get some rubber down on this racetrack. These tires are very hard. Something about these tires, you could probably go the whole race on these tires and not lose a whole lot of time. It's just a compound. Hoosier really hasn't changed the compound in the past years. Just a very, very hard tire that we've come here with.
If you're wanting to know where your favorite driver is running, you can make sure to watch the SK Hand Tools running order on the top of the screen. Also gives you what lap we are on. Again, this is a 134 lap race, 200 miles around this mile-and-a-half tri-oval. Side by side for 9th. AJ Henriksen on the inside of Mario Goslin. Goslin trying to stay out in front, and that is kind of no man's land right now when you get up outside of the darker concrete or pavement.
Well, you see Mario get up high there, and you see he had to pull back out of the throttle. Car on the inside. Again, we have to get some rubber worked out on that outside, and I'm sure Mario knows he needs to be down on the bottom of the racetrack. Mario winning a race here in 2003. 2 times Hooters Cup champion. Born in Canada. Resides in Florida.
Let's go down to Lindsay Zarniak.
You just said resides in Florida. I was talking to Mario earlier today, and he said there was no one in my family who was ever a driver. In fact, he caught the racing bug when he visited Hialeah Speedway down in Miami, and he said, I used to get a bunch of speeding tickets just out on the highway, so I figured I'd better put it to use on a racetrack. He loves racing. He said 3 times this season they've run out of fuel, so this time his mantra is conserve fuel, and with the 9th place start, he thinks that he can weave his way up towards the end.
Very strong car from Mario Goslin. Battle for second here. Scott Lagasse in front of the 51 of Brandon Witt. Brandon Witt, his name was thrown around a lot when he won in Memphis last year in the Craftsman Truck Series, but then lost his ride at the end of the season, and so has been looking for a way to get back into racing. Decided to field his own car and come ARCA REMAX Series racing.
Well, I think he made the right move. They built this car in-house. This is an in-house chassis. CWS motors in that car. He missed Daytona, went down to Daytona, tried to make Daytona race in the ARCA REMAX Series, missed that race. This will be his first ARCA start, but exactly no better way to get exposure for a driver than to come in this ARCA REMAX Series and run like he's doing.
46 of Frank Kimmel has decided to throw his name in the hat for a top 3 position. Currently in 4th, but all over the back bumper of Brandon Witt in that 51.
Well, Frank, again, confidence. He's been to this racetrack a lot, and just so important as a driver to come to a racetrack that you've been to before and won. Knowing that you know the setup, knowing that you can win races here is real important.
Frank Kimmel, mentor to the 47 of Ryan Foster, who's right behind him. Don, what's Frank saying on the radio?
Frank's a very happy man right now, gentlemen. The car's working very well. A little loose, but he knows on the long run the car will begin to tighten up and come to him. You know, they only practiced 11 laps. The car was so good. Frank Kimmel's in a real good mood right now.
Frank and Bill very confident yesterday during practice. They felt good about this race car, knew that when it got on the racetrack in race setup that they were going to be very competitive.
Well, they did. And again, coming off a win here and being here before and having so many laps under your belt, you really don't need to run that many laps of practice. I mean, if you know you got the car, you go out and the car feels pretty good, put a cover over it, qualify it, and race it.
Well, we've been talking about second, third, and fourth. How about who's out in front? It's the New South Lemonade, number 61 of Stephen Wallace, continuing to lead. He's led every lap thus far at Chicago. And welcome back to Chicago, an amazing town, the Windy City. Places like the Navy Pier, Kaminsky Park, Soldier Field, Wrigley Field, home to the Cubs, the White Sox, the Bears, and the Bulls. Amazing town for sports, and we're at Chicagoland Speedway, adding its name to the long list of great sport venues. Stephen Wallace out in front of the field. He has led all 26 laps thus far. We're on lap 27. Stephen Wallace looking to add his name to the list of drivers that have won at this racetrack. One driver that has won here at the 72 of Dwayne Bryan actually won last year in just his second start in the ARCA REMAX Series. Lindsay? Oh, I'm sorry, Dawn.
Yeah, let's try that. Dwayne Bryan is backing up a little bit, but not too much concern here. Talk to the crew chief, Tim Weiss. The car is loose, but they know the car will tighten up on the long run. And he's just being conservative, actually. Remember, Lindsay commented on this, a struggling team. They only have one car. This is it. So he has to race conservatively.
Riding along with Mario Goslin, and that's what Mario Goslin sees in his rearview mirror. Dwayne Bryan all over the back of him.
Talked to Tim Weiss on the Dwayne's car, and he says, you know, we chased it when we got here in qualifying. I mean, you know, practice before qualifying, we changed a lot of stuff. We did a 360. We came here unloaded, made a whole lot of changes, did a 360. By the time we qualified, we put everything back, and they kind of attributed that to the tire rubber that we talked about earlier. But he said, I feel we got a good race car now. He said, I was just a little bit scattered about what was going on. Tim Weiss around a long time, crew chief for a lot of Nextel Cup teams, Busch Series, and all that, so very experienced.
And a difficult transformation for these teams when they have to run a companion event where either they're running with NASCAR, which runs on Goodyear tires, or IRL, who runs on the Firestone rubber.
It is, and if we run enough of these races as a team and as a crew chief, we can make adjustments because we know what that rubber is going to do. But we do not run with the Indy cars a lot, so we really don't know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, there's not enough races. I think we're only companion with them maybe 1 or 2 times through the year, so we really don't have enough background information. Then if they change the compound of the tire, all that information you got's out the window. You got to start all over again, so it's just a tough deal.
Last time we ran with IRL was Kansas, and Frank Kimmel came home your winner. Steve Wallace was second. So right now, looks like maybe a little change of fortune for Steve Wallace.
Yep, and that's about the strength of the team, the crew chief, and the knowledge that they have. Again, that makes resources make a big difference in this business.
Steve Wallace with a big lead, almost 5 seconds between himself and Brandon Witt, who has taken over second place from Scott Lagasse.
Steven settled in. The car looks flawless. It's hooked right up on the bottom line. As you see, drives right down to the white line. You know, the car's just got to feel real good to him, and you know, he's got his rhythm now. Takes some 10-20 laps for a race car driver to get that rhythm and feel good about it. He knows exactly what his car is doing, and it looks like it's moving forward. Don't appear to be backing up at all.
Don.
No, the 61 car isn't backing up at all. They tested here at Chicagoland Speedway. Came with the same setup they had at Kentucky, where they won, and they weren't happy with the setup, so they tweaked it to accommodate Chicagoland, changed the whole spindle package, changed rear springs and front shocks, and they've got that car just the way they want it. Crew Chief Steve Darn said, can't ever sit on what you have. You've got to constantly improve, and I can tell you, the 61 car is on the improving list.
Well, as Stephen Wallace is trying to increase his lead, Dwayne Bryan tries to get to the front. They were side by side just moments ago. Mario Goslin in the 32, Dwayne Bryan in the 72.
Yep, good battle for 10th here. Blake Borklin, Dwayne Bryant going back and forth, and you know, these guys have been swapping back and forth here the last few laps, but it's important that they get single file, get settled in there, and catch the leaders.
Blake Bjorklund, our rookie points leader, in that number 32, just in front of Dwayne Bryant. Right behind Bjorklund in the rookie points, a couple Ryans. Ryan Howard, Ryan Foster tied for second in that very tight battle taking place this season.
17 races for Blake Bjorklund. 8 top 10 finishes, 4 top 5s. Good record.
Brett Rowe and Justin Allgaier rounding out our top 5 in the ARCA rookie points chase. And we see Dwayne Bryant has made the pass now on Blake Bjorklund, and Dwayne Bryant continues to move toward the front. Battle continuing for second, and Scott Lagasse takes the position back from Brandon Witt. And so Lagasse now moving back into second place. Brandon Witt dropping back to third, and there's Frank Kimmel hovering, just waiting for an opportunity in fourth.
And what happens here in the long run, you see we're on lap 36 right now. We've had some green flag runs. The car will start to go away sometimes if you're off a little bit. If the car's a little bit tight, it'll get a little bit tighter, and it'll get worse and worse, and you'll heat the right front tire up. And that's why you see on the long run, the guy that's got his car adjusted for the long run will be real good. Talked to Scott Lagasse before the race just an hour ago, and he said, I think we're going to be really good on the long run. He said, I feel real good about it. I know the car qualified well, but we did some long runs, and the car just got faster and faster.
And that's exactly what we're on right now, is a long run as Scott Lagasse works his way around the 59 of Ryan Howard, and he will pull Brandon Witt along with him. Here's two drivers that have not won this season in the ARCA REMAX Series, and a record-setting season we have had thus far. 16 different winners in 19 races. They could add their name to that list, make it 17.
Well, even talking to Frank Kimmel, he said it's just amazing how competitive this series has gotten this year, Rick. He says, you know, a lot of development drivers, a lot of different teams, and we just got some new teams that brewed up. We got some new rookie drivers, so it's just amazing how this series has gotten so competitive here in 2006.
Take a look at our biggest movers. Pete Shepard in that 39, moving up 19 places. Pete Shepard had some problems in practice yesterday. Had to go to a backup car.
Yep. Rouleau Brothers entry, had a left rear flat, left rear go down there in practice, destroyed the car. They pulled their backup out. It was an old ex-Roush car, but the motor was a little bit older. They were a little concerned with the power in the car, but obviously it's not hurting here today.
Bobby Gerhart in that 5, you saw him backing up. This continues to be a battle for 10th place, the 72 and 32. Going at it, Dwayne Bryant in the 72, Blake Bjorklund in the 32. There's Mario Gosselin in the 12 just in front of them, and he's holding on to that 10th position.
Bobby Gerhart getting down a little bit earlier. You know, got that damage to the rear section of the race car, but he was able to get that car back together and get it back out there. So he currently being scored a lap down. He's here for the big picture, run for points.
05 coming in, Ian Henderson out of Piedmont, South Carolina, had some damage to the right front, actually brushed the wall. He's right in front of our leader, Stephen Wallace. We'll take a look at this. He gets a little bit too high.
Yep. It sounds, you hear Stephen get out of the throttle a little bit. Sure, spotters hollering at Stephen, slow down, watch the car in front of you, got one in the wall. But as soon as you go drive through a wreck like that, it's real important to get back in the gas and get out of the way.
I tell you what, that was a maturity thing that we just saw out of Stephen Wallace there, because Stephen is normally a driver who rarely lifts his right foot. I mean, he will run the car as hard as it will possibly go. And I think right there was lesson learned. Stephen Wallace gets off the gas and says, okay, I understand if something's going to happen in front of me, I'm going to let it happen, but I'm going to stay out of the way. Stephen Wallace out in front of the field, 40 laps so far in Chicago. Welcome back to the SK Hand Tool 200, the ARCA REMAX Series 20th race of the season out of 23. And right now, Steve Wallace out in front of the field. The battle now, Frank Kimmel making his move by the 51 of Brandon Witt. Witt slowing down, it looks like, as Kimmel able to take over third. Now Lagasse in front of himself.
Young Ryan Foster currently being scored in the 4th position behind Frank. That's where he'd like to stay for a while. I'm sure there's, again, being a rookie, to follow a guy that's been there and done that, no better experience, no better confidence builder.
This has been a long green flag run, Dan, and we would expect to see some pit stops coming up here pretty soon.
Yep, we had a caution flag there, and we had about 8 or 10 laps of caution we had to ride around, and normal pit cycle would be, 55 to 60. So I'd say when we start getting up around the 55 to 60 mark, they're going to start looking. It's going to get close. If it stays green, it may run to a little bit after 60, but it's coming up on us.
Making his way up into the top 10, the 6 of Dexter Bean. Don, what's going on with him?
Well, they're pretty happy in the Dexter Bean camp. This is the same car they wrecked at Milwaukee, and they just got the motor in it Wednesday night. Dexter and 2 other guys, that's all that works on the car, set the car up Thursday and came here Thursday night. They're low on sleep, but they're feeling real good right now because Dexter says this is one of the best handling race cars he's ever felt. Very happy, very good news from the Dexter Bean camp, moving up from 12th to 7th in the lineup.
Dexter Bean, another one of those drivers that has not won in the ARCA REMAX Series. Justin Allgaier, well, he has won in the ARCA REMAX Series and recently.
Justin down pit road, not sure why. Right before we went green, had to come down pit road. They had to trunk up on that car, Justin's car, made some adjustments. Larry Moore, the crew chief on that car, and been a tough few weeks for Justin Allgaier, not getting a real good hold of this racetrack in qualifying, not real happy with what he had, qualified 29th, so they've got to make some adjustments on that car to get him towards front.
Lindsay, what's he saying on the radio?
Justin's not saying a whole lot on the radio, but he is pleased that he has been able to at least make the ground up that he has. Like you said, he started 29th. Now he's gotten up to 22nd, but he is saying that he's having problems turning in the corners. And Dan just referred to what they were fixing on pit road as this race began before it even started. And that was him changing shocks because they had some problems. And obviously, due to the impound rules, they weren't able to correct anything. So they brought him down to do that. They were hoping that adjustment might have helped. And he's creeping.
Well, soon we're going to see pit cycles, so when they come in, Larry Moore can make some adjustments on the 16 car. Justin currently being scored in 22nd position, but still in contention if they make that car adjust it and go to the front.
One of our biggest movers in the field to this point has been the 39 of Pete Shepard. Well, he is just in front of our leader, Stephen Wallace.
Stephen's got the hammer down, I tell you.
And you know what? We're hearing him. He's coming down pit road. Let's see if this speedy dry causes a problem.
Inside.
Slows down. Got a little loose right there.
Leaders on pit road
And so
now.
Steve Wallace brings the car down pit road. That is your leader. He will relinquish the top spot to Scott Lagasse. Lagasse stayed out on the racetrack.
Little scary moment there, like we talked about, Rick, coming down pit road with that speedy dry. You've seen that car wiggle. And, and I'm not sure if the spotters don't tell the drivers about that, there's going to be real trouble.
Don, call the stop for us.
Be glad to, Rick. 61 on pit road. This is all very much routine. Now, we don't see a lot of green flag stops in the ARCA REMAX Series, but more and more, as competitive as this thing's getting, you're seeing more of it. They made a track bar adjustment, I saw, to help tighten up the 61. 4 tires and fuel. He's down and away. Good stop for Stephen Wallace. Dwayne Bryan also on pit road. Blake Bjorklund has brought his car onto pit road as well. And now the field is in the hands of the 4 of Scott Lagasse, who's getting a little bit behind some of the slower lap traffic.
Well, like we said, we're in our pit window there. Whoa, a little tight there as he gets around James Hilton. A little 3-wide action. He's probably trying to lap the leader at this point, saying, man, if I could lap Stephen Wallace, that would be big, because if the caution came out, he could do that. It would put Stephen a lap down. He knows how dominant Stephen's car is here today. So, he's doing everything possible he can to try and lap the leader. Who was the leader, Stephen? Exactly. And Scott Lagasse, now out in front of this field, has got a lot of resources behind him at this racetrack. We see the 51 bring his car down pit road. They made a pretty major adjustment to the right rear of that car. Yeah, it did. I'm not sure. It looks like they went down on the track bar to tighten that race car up, but characteristically, we would want to free the car up because this car would get tight. They did make a big adjustment to Brandon Witt's car, but as you've seen in the long run, Rick, he started to back up. We noticed that, like you said, so they have to make adjustments. So in the long run again, that does not happen. Brandon Witt will bring his car off of pit road. Dexter Bean there in the 6, coming out a little sharp. Yeah.
making Brandon a little bit nervous, but they will get off of pit road and make their way out onto the racetrack. They stay on the inside of the track. There's a blend line. They can't come onto the racetrack until they get down the backstretch, and it looks like Dexter Bean's going to try to pass Brandon Witt as they make their way on the access road. Out in front of the field, could Scott Lagasse be flirting with running out of fuel?
Well, yes, I think we're getting close. You know, within that 60 laps or so, it's going to start getting tight. But if they've done good fuel calculations, which this is a Cunningham Motorsports entry, Eddie Sharp helping them run that team. You see the hand out the window, he's coming in to tell the driver behind him, hey, I'm coming in. And that's what I'm talking about, communication. It's big, and it makes a big difference to help cause accidents.
Here comes our leader. That's Scott Lagasse bringing the car down onto the access road. He tries to avoid the speedy dry. Bringing it onto pit road. That puts Frank Kimmel now out in front of the field. Lindsay, what's going on with Scott?
Scott Lagasse is absolutely supremely confident about this car. They're going to give him 4 tires, give him some fuel. He had been having problems turning in the corner, so they might make a slight chassis adjustment, and they were going to wait and see how time goes for them. Lagasse said that communication, like you guys were talking about, has been huge for him. He's been able to work on that with his team, and he says this race car, out of any, will take him to victory lane.
Well, they stayed a little bit longer there to make sure they topped it off with fuel. Could this be a strategy? Could he possibly make it all the way to the end of this race on one stop?
Well, it's possible. If we have a whole bunch of cautions, I mean, it could definitely happen. So, you know, the strategy is if you're on pit road, top it off and get every ounce of gas in that car that you can.
We see Frank Kimmel running out in front. Don, what's his strategy?
Well, they think they can go to about lap 60. That's probably a little less than 3 laps. However, I did hear their spotter and car owner, Larry Clement, just come on the radio, a little concerned, saying, Frank, please watch your fuel pressure gauge. These guys are mounted on the wall and race ready for Franco.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to do, especially at a big track like this, run out of gas as you're just passing the entrance of pit road, because there could be a possibility that you will not make it all the way back around, and that could be devastating.
Kimmel's teammate Ryan Foster comes in. Looks like they're going to put 4 fresh tires on and make an adjustment. You saw the wrench go into the back of the car.
Yep, they put it in. Ooh, looks like about a turn and a half there. Pretty big adjustment. Appeared to be up on the track bar.
And there's that problem we were talking about. Frank Kimmel gets spun as he tries to get onto pit road. Wow, we talked about the speedy dry at the beginning of pit road, and it has affected now our race leader and points leader, Frank Kimmel, stop.
It looks like the green flag still is out, so if the green flag's out, you know, he could still stay out and be okay, but we talked about it, we knew it. Again, these drivers have got to be careful entering pit road there, because we come down there and try to get every little bit we can, and as you see, it really took its toll on Frank Kimmel.
Don.
Well, he finally got to pit road, though, although that's going to help with that caution flag out, though. That gives them the luxury of working on this car. What a break, possibly, for Frank Kimmel as they go for the right side tires. Already on it, Frank, a little impatient, says, I got to go, man. I'll come back in a bit.
And a caution has come out on lap 61. Bobby Gerhart with a flat left front tire. A tough day for second in the points. Bobby Gerhart. We'll let you know what also has taken place with Frank Kimmel being on pit road when the caution came out. We'll shake it all out when we come back. Speed's coverage of the ARCA REMAX Series from Chicago is brought to you by SK Tools, the official hand tools of ARCA, and by Fastenal, quality products and service from quality people. Expect it from Fastenal. Our leader, A.J. Henriksen, who was able to grab the lead by staying out longer than anyone else, has now come down to get service on his car.
Well, he's happy about this, I'm sure. See the 3 car, Jeremy Clements, he ran out of fuel. Car just coming to a rest on pit road, still not able to get that car going. Man, what a shuffling of the cards.
There's the rubber that had come off of Bobby Gerhart's number 5. We take one more look at it. This is why we're under this 3rd caution of the day.
Looks like left rear tire down, just gets turned around. That's the outer casing that we seen in the earlier picture. Ryan Howard passed him down there in the grass. And how unusual, every time Frank Kimmel has problems, Bobby Gerhart has problems.
Yeah, and Bobby Gerhart's problem started before Kimmel's. Gerhart had problem in that first accident. took place. And now we ride along with Frank Kimmel, or get a view of what took place as he was coming down onto pit road. Just in front of him, Stephen Wallace. Stephen Wallace is racing. He's going to stay on the racetrack, but Kimmel slowing down.
He slowed down hard right there. He lost it before.
He was going way too fast coming in.
He really was, and some of that speedy drive was probably dusted up along that racetrack, and Frank Kimmel just turned it around. There you go.
He was going hard, and it looked as though he was trying to stay high to avoid it, but just got a little bit too quick coming down pit road.
See the cone? See, it gets down like you say, Rick. Ow! Lost it.
He was moving real quick. Don?
Yeah, you know, guys, we commented about this series. It doesn't get a lot of green flag pit stops, and although Frank Kimmel's a veteran, he hasn't made a lot of green flag pit stops throughout his career in this ARCA REMAX series, so that definitely played a role. Just to update you, they did come back down pit road a second time to change left side tire. I asked the crew chief, Bill Kimmel, if they were a lap down. He does not know, and I don't know either. Do you guys?
Well, you know what, Don? I'm going to research that, and I'll get an answer to you when we come back. Out in front of the field, it is still A.J. Hendrickson being scored as our leader.
8 cars.
Tonight on Speed, it's NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. JR, Jimmy, and Kenny are fired up as one of the most important weekends of the season is here. The clock is ticking as the race to the chase ends in Richmond. Don't miss NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, tonight, 5 Eastern, live on Speed. Justin Allgaier coming.
Car
Actually,
42,
that's
Philip
Magilton.
Magilton coming in for service. See him taking a piece of tape, putting it on the grill there. What he's doing is it makes more downforce on the nose of the race car, makes the car turn better in the center of the corner. So he's getting a little more downforce on that nose.
Now, what we're seeing here is the 17. A.J. Hendrickson is the leader. And to answer your question, Don, you said, is Frank a lap down? Well, he's about 1.4999 miles down. And that means he is right in front of our leader. So he is on the tail end of the lead lap, just in front of A.J. Hendrickson. So you see the proximity here. A.J. Hendrickson could put Frank a lap down if he passes him on this restart.
Yep, and Frank's objective is to stay in front of A.J. Henderson till we see another yellow flag, put him back on the tail end of the lead. He can come all the way around, then he'll be in good shape.
We take a look at the lucasoil.com number 5, and what a tough day they have had. They even had a fire in their pit this last time they came in.
Yep, and what happens here is the fuel man, when he pulls out of the brake, out of the fuel brake, it usually spills about a half a gallon or a gallon of gas. It sprays around. When the car takes off, there's lug nuts laying on the pit road. It shoots the lug nuts out from underneath the tire because we run them over, makes a spark. All it takes is a little bit spark. That spark ignites the gas, and that's what you're seeing there.
Get out in front of this field for 50 laps early on was the 61 of Stephen Wallace. We ride along with Stephen. Don, what are they talking about in that pit area?
Well, let's find out, because they came back down pit road for a second stop. That's crew chief Steve Darn talking to Steve Wallace on the radio right now. But I'm wondering, are you guys just throwing strategy at this thing, or was there a specific reason you came back down pit road twice?
No, we just didn't get full of fuel, and you know, we could have run this out a little bit farther, but when we got a caution early like that, might as well just come top off. There's so few cars on the lead lap, it really didn't hurt us too much.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it.
And so Stephen Wallace in the 61 currently being scored in the 7th position. It's A.J. Hendrickson out in front of the field, though, at Chicagoland. And welcome back to Chicago. It's always a party at the racetrack. I believe this game is called cornhole. I think those bags are filled with corn, and they try to get it into the little hole.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that game is all about.
I've got one of them games, but never used them. My kids.
Dan Partis, Rick Allen up in the booth. Lindsey Zarniak and Don Radebaugh covering pit road for us today as the party continues not only in the infield but also on the racetrack. A.J. Hendrickson, a party for him right now as he sits in front of the field. But a pretty impressive top 5 right now, Dan.
Really is. And you know, A.J. had some trouble with this car at Pocono. Vibration, could never get the vibrations out. The last thing they found out was brake rotors. And you see Billy Venturini there just coming out of the picture in a 25 car. Billy struggled here and wasn't really sure what the problem was. Again, they could not get a hold of this racetrack. But as always, Billy Venturini, not the great qualifier, but a good racer.
Well, and here's a Chicago kid who he has run all 5 of the races here previously. His average finish at this racetrack, 10.4 in all 5 of those races. So he has had a lot of success at this racetrack. Lindsay?
You guys said he wasn't a great qualifier. He didn't qualify 23rd, but you're right. Every time I ask Billy, his dad, his crew chief, he always says, you know Billy doesn't qualify good. But look at where he is now, like you're saying. He's second. And they said that this past pit stop that they just made came at the perfect time for them because they were having a tire rub problem. They gave him 4 new tires, gave him some fuel, and Billy is off. They think that he can do well. And by the way, guys, you might have known this, but Billy is about to be a dad.
Jorge Getters currently holding on to the 3rd position in the number 24. There's a name that we've heard in the Busch Series before.
Yep, from Mexico City. Finished 5th in the Mexico race over there in the road race. A hero in that Mexico City area. 3 Busch Grand National starts in 2006. 36 years old. Got to be real happy with his run going on right here.
How about Pete Shepard in that number 39, currently in the 4th position. That is a backup car because during practice yesterday, he had some problems and they had to go to the backup. Don?
Not only that, Rick, they had to change engines too. So they not only crashed their primary car, they had to change engines because they broke one earlier. A great story here. Pete Shepard from Brampton, Ontario, for the Canada fans, has moved up to 4th, making some air pressure adjustments and track bar adjustments on their last stop to help loosen up the car. Other than that, car is rock solid, ready to go.
Rounding out the top 5, the 78 of Justin South, trying to improve upon a best of 2nd last year at Salem.
Yep. Dougie Reed, crew chief on this car. Dougie from the Alabama area, another ARCA REMAX Series competitor. Says that he's going to try and take 2 cars to Talladega. He's going to drive one. Justin will drive one. Not sure where next year's going to lead.
Past the halfway point of this one, 3 lead changes. Currently, A.J. Hendrickson out in front. There's only been 3 cautions. We are completing our 20th lap of caution, and 5 cars currently out of the race.
Stephen Wallace has got to use his head through traffic here.
Again, our leader in the 17 back in the field a ways. That means that there are cars in front of him that are, crosses the ball just in front of him. And at the 50, gets spun around. Brian Silas.
Man, got tight there.
We saw the 17, our leader, get into the wall right on the restart, and so the caution has come right back out. Our 4th caution of the day.
Brian Silas running into 16th position. Bobby Jones entry. Had a good race car. Talked to Bobby. He felt today was the day. The Palm Beach grading car. It's family-owned business. Tough way to end his day.
Look at the damage on the front of the 17. Unbelievable luck for A.J. Hendrickson. He has got to come down pit road and have some work done on the front of that.
Got to be totally frustrated as a driver to have such a good car and then have to go to the back. But he'll still be on the lead lap. He can get that left front pulled out. You see extensive damage to the left front of these race cars, and that is probably the most important area, the frontal area of these race cars, is that left front. They've got to get it pulled back out.
Well, the one thing, obviously, bad for A.J. Hendrickson, good for Frank Kimmel. Kimmel now will be at the tail end of the lead lap. A.J. Hendrickson, problems in the pits. Don?
Yeah, a really bad break for the 17 car. He was very, very quick today. They've got a flat left front tire among lots of body damage all the way around the engineered components car. So right now they're just trying to get the left side up so they can change rubber on the left side, but the aerodynamics are certainly affected. AJ does a lot of his own work on his cars. He builds them, he hangs the bodies. He's quite the craftsman and quite the racer too, although he's got himself dealt a bad break here at Chicagoland today.
Well, and one of the bad things, obviously, we're up here and we don't have all of the hectic things going on, but probably would have been smarter to leave that wheel off while they did the damage or the work on the body. But, you know, guys are in a hurry. They're trying to get the tires on. They're trying to make sure he gets back out. You're just not clear thinking right now.
Well, the easy way to do it is to leave that tire on. You can swing that hammer. They need to get this big bubble pulled out of this fender so that the air is right on the nose of this race car.
Let's take another look at why A.J. Hendrickson is in the pits right now.
See A.J. on the outside there, out along by the wall. Got a good run. He just gets pitched up by the 50 car. Brian probably thought Brian knew that he was there, and Brian wasn't really sure that he was there, and just crashed them both, took them out.
Yep, Brian Silas in that number 50. First time ever on the Chicagoland Speedway. And just didn't have the 17 cleared as he tried to come up the racetrack.
Yeah, you just run out of room, and it's so hard as a driver to pull back out of that throttle because you know you'll go back 3 or 4 cars, but that comes with experience. He could have got out of the throttle and fell back a couple cars and picked that ground up very easy.
Philip Magilton again with a pretty good view of what's taking place in front of him, and look at that.
Philip doing a good job seeing the car as a driver. That's real important. You look at which way them race cars move across the racetrack, and you usually drive the opposite way, but sometimes it's real hard to do.
So another car on the back end of a wrecker. They will pull that into the garage, and another one will leave the racetrack not being able to run. Thursday on Speed, the chase is on. NASCAR nears the fastest playoff in sports. The chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. Only one show can handle it all. The chase is on. Thursday, 8 Eastern, 10 Pacific, only on Speed. Well, the 61 of Stephen Wallace, we've ridden along with him as he's been out in front of the field for 50 laps, and now he's back in 4th. So not too bad for Stephen Wallace as all of the pit strategy has shaken out. Frank Kimmel was another one who came back down on pit road and made another stop. Scott Lagasse also making a stop in the number 4 Dodge.
Yeah, Scott in 15th position now, but you know, he's on new tires. He's got a full tank of fuel. He's got a really good race car, so he just has to use his head and work his way back up towards the front for the end of the day.
Well, one of the amazing things about this series is we not only run on short tracks and super speedways, but we also run on dirt. And what they have is a contest, I guess you would say, within the season. It's called the Bill France Triple Crown, and it puts these 3 races that have just been run over a week's time. Toledo, the short track, DuQuoin, the Clay Mile, and now the Chicagoland Super Speedway. And right now, Blake Bjorklund with the best average so far of the 2 races run, and now this one being thrown in there. Blake had some troubles early, but still in contention to win this thing.
Yeah, and as a driver, we love this type of deal, a race inside a race. I mean, 3 totally different types of racetracks at 3 different areas. Don Radeball, what you got? You can tell us a lot about that Bill France Triple Crown. I know you've been around a while.
Well, I've been around this series for 10 years, not as long as the series itself, but I love this award. No other award to me better spells out what this series is all about. Short tracks, dirt tracks, super speedways, and everywhere in between. This Bill France Triple Crown is a 3-race stretch in 9 days. It's not only a short track, a dirt track, and a speedway. It's very grueling, and to be the champion of it is a very hard thing to do. Past champions include Davey Allison, Lee Raymond, Grant Adcox, Frank Kimmel, and Tim Steele. It's really a cool thing, and right now Blake Bjorklund should be very proud.
He should, and the award that they give out, Rick, at the end of the year, it's a $3,000. It pays $3,000 to win this, and they give you a trophy, and you've got the Bill France Triple Crown trophy for the rest of your life.
Right now, Blake Bjorklund being scored in the 12th position. Well, guess who's out in front and who's currently 2nd in the Bill France Triple Crown point standings? Well, it's the 25 of Billy Venturini. So Billy Venturini could be claiming the Bill France Triple Crown today. Out in front of the field, Billy Venturini, Jorge Getters, Justin South, Steve Wallace, and Justin Allgaier. We'll be back with more in Chicago. And welcome back to the SK Hand Tool 200 from Chicagoland Speedway, just a little southwest of Chicago in Joliet, Illinois. Don Radebach.
How about Frank Kimmel came in and topped off while you were at commercial break? They are definitely good to go to the checkered flag. Gentlemen.
Well, that's a big deal. Good to go to the checkered flag. Key words. That's what I want to hear as a driver. If my car's hooked up, I know I'm good to go. All I've got to do is use my head and pick through traffic.
Out in front of the field, Billy Venturini brings him to the green flag. We're back to racing. And problems, look at this behind him.
Oh, big pileup again.
A.J. Hendrickson involved in this
Brandon
one.
Witt.
Mario Goslin in the 12 involved in it. Or maybe that was the
Magilton.
42. That could have been the 42. I saw just a very
on board
short
there.
glimpse of the cars involved. The 53 also involved in that. That's Todd Hansen.
You're on board.
I think it was Philip Magilton.
17, A.J. Henderson again. Man.
And that looks like it is the end of the day for A.J. Hendrickson.
I would say.
Also involved, the 51 of Brandon Witt, a very strong car to start this race, and now it looks like he may not be able to continue.
Just gets piled up, it gets log jam, and there's just nowhere to go. We'll take another look at it if we got it, and see exactly what happened there. So you see right front, heavy right front damage. What he's got in the back of another car, obviously, when somebody possibly brake checked, he's gotten hit. He ran in the back of somebody ran in the back of him, tore the tail section off the car, left rear flat. Not what Brandon Witt wanted to happen here today. Had such a good run here in his first ever ARCA race.
There's the 53, Todd Hansen, coming down for work to take a look at can they get him back on the racetrack and be able to continue at minimum speed. We look again. This time we're on with Philip Magilton in the 42. He's involved with this. He gets into the back of the 39, then somebody into the back of him.
Bottom line is somebody up front spun their tires, just could not get going, maybe missed a shift, and it just causes a big log jam. Here, out of the windshield of Frank's car.
Here's
he pitted, it was coming through the field, and this is what it looks like.
This all happened right in front of him. Oh, he got hit too.
Yeah, the 53 car.
Little contact to the right side of the 46 of Frank Kimmel.
42 car, Philip Magilton. Having a good run here today. We see Frank Kimmel.
Again, we heard the contact with Kimmel on the right side as he was trying to avoid that problem.
Possible little right side damage, but it looked like it was in the door. Looked like it got most of the door, which should not make too much difference. But if it got some of the aerodynamic area in the left front fender, that could be a problem.
Pit road is closed. Our fifth caution of the day has come out in the SK Hand Tool 200 from Chicagoland Speedway. And welcome back to event number 20 for the ARCA REMAX Series, the SK Hand Tool 200. Just 3 races remain in the season. Frank Kimmel actually had to come back down pit road because we had mentioned the problem to the right rear. He got a right rear flat tire, had to come down pit road, and when he did that, pit road was actually closed, so he's going to be penalized. Don?
Yeah, I can't comment on the penalty just yet. We'll check on that, but when they were here, they did change right side tires because they did have a lot of damage to the right side of the port car. Frank was also very concerned about the rear end housing to make sure it wasn't shoved over. In fact, when he left pit road, he asked his brother and crew chief, am I tracking okay? Does the car look good? Going down pit road, Bill said, yeah, it looks real good, Frank, you're okay.
Well, as a crew chief, that's what you got to tell your driver. You tell him nothing else, because if it is off a little bit, if you tell him it's bad, mentally it really messes you up. Just
doesn't that go back to Days of Thunder? I put on a special match set of tires.
It's all a mental game.
It's all a mental game.
That's what it's about. Listening to the conversation on the radio, there's a crew setting up for pit stop again. They may come back in and change some more tires. It actually knocked the valve stem out of that rim. Listening to brother Bill Kimmel, he said, Franco, it knocked the valve stem out of the right rear tire. That's what happened there.
Out in front, hometown hero Billy Venturini in the 25 leads the field around here. Billy Venturini,
big mover, starting in 23rd position. Again, Billy never really qualifies that well, but he's got to be happy with his run here, especially his hometown of Chicago.
Bill Venturini with a best finish of 6th back in 2004, and we see Frank Kimmel making his way back down pit road. Actually, Bill Venturini was 4th in the first ever race here in 2001, so 4th, a best finish for Billy Venturini, looking to improve on that.
Yep, some good runs this year. 10 top 10 finishes, 2 top 5s, a lot of opportunities where he's running real good, just got taken out.
And he got that first win this year as well. Frank Kimmel back in his pit. Don?
A lot of action down here these days, guys. Frank Kimmel, when he left pit road, he also said, when he got back out onto the racetrack, guys, I feel a vibration in this car now that I didn't feel before, so they're going to be safe, better than sorry. They're going to bolt 4 new Hoosier skins on it and send Frank back out. You know, Frank is approaching 10,000 laps led in the ARCA REMAX Series. This is part of the reason why these guys are really good at what they do.
Well, he talked about a vibration there, guys. Possibly they changed some tires here. That earlier pit stop maybe left the tire a little bit loose. We hope that's what it was. We hope that's what it was, because if not, there's really nothing else we can do.
Dan, can we talk about laps led in the ARCA REMAX Series?
Sure.
Don just threw out a number that was astronomical as far as laps led. You're a lap leader in this series.
Yep, I am. Of course, my laps are nowhere near as many as Frank Kimmel's, but you know, I raced in the ARCA REMAX Series, led some laps here, but you know, I raced with Frank at the time. I raced with Frank Kimmel, and I'm proud to say that I was able to run side by side, or I was within range of Frank Kimmel at times, and I even passed him a few times. So that means a lot to me. But Frank's, you know, obviously come a long way, raced a lot more races than I have, and he's come to be a real threat in this series, as we know.
Most racetracks Frank Kimmel can say that he has won at. He's won here back in 2003. Dwayne Bryant also a part of this field. That's why those two are in yellow. But those are your previous winners. This racetrack was opened in 2001, so Ed Barrier won the first ever ARCA REMAX Series race here.
Yep, and again, to come back to a racetrack that you've won before, there's no bigger confidence builder. Dwayne Bryant being the second one is currently running in 15th position. Last year's winner here. Again, it means a lot. Crew Chief Tim Weiss said, you know, I really believe we could win this race today. The kid's good. He's got what it takes. We just got to get him in the right position.
Currently, Dwayne Bryant, by our scoring monitors, is being scored a lap down. There are only 13 cars that are on the lead lap, and Frank Kimmel being the last of those cars.
Yeah, I believe Dwayne being caught in that rotation of pit stops, possibly getting caught on pit road with the yellow flag out, put him a lap back, but he's got a real good race car here today.
As we talk about previous winners at this racetrack, we take a look back at 2005 and that win for Dwayne Bryant. Again, this just his second ever ARCA REMAX Series start, and he's able to grab the checkered flags and the hardware in victory lane. Well, who will make it there today? It could be Don Radebaugh. We saw him at the end of that
right
spot.
in there, wasn't he?
Pretty good odds that Don might be in victory lane. And now coming down pit road once again, the 61 of Stephen Wallace. So more adjustments to be made for that car, who was so strong at the beginning of this race.
Well, I believe, you know, we're 83 laps into the race. He's coming in, topping off for fuel. Now's the time to do it. If he wants any more tires, that's what they'll do. But it looks like the crew just takes their time, casually walks out, going to top the fuel off of that car. You see the hands up in the fuel guide telling them they're full. They pull a tear off the left front windshield there. That helps the driver see better, makes a big difference, and they're just going to keep topping off till the pace car gets down the middle of the back straightaway or towards the end, and they'll send them out. Don Radebaugh, you got more on that?
I don't know, Dan. I think you covered it pretty well. I was hoping they would make an adjustment, something I could yak on about, but no, really, guys, I think you hit it right on the head. All they wanted was gas to go to the end, and they have plenty now. Thank you.
Well, he's certainly got the race car to prove it. He's showcased that talent, and he's just got to stay out of trouble. But trouble's been...
I was going to say, that's one of the hardest things to do right now at this racetrack.
You see Frank Kimmel almost got involved in that. When you start towards the back, you got to be cautious.
Lights are out on the pace car, meaning that this time when they come out of turn number 4, the pace car will make its way down pit road. And Billy Venturini again in control of the field. Again, Jorge Getters right behind him in the 24. Justin South, Justin Allgaier in that 16, and Steve Wallace. That was your top 5. Now Steve Wallace pitting most recently is going to drop back a little bit further into the field. And so as we get ready to restart, Billy Venturini goes through the gears and we're back underway. Man, we have got some speedy dry all over this racetrack.
Yes, you do, and that's what you have to be careful of, especially on the outside. All that speedy dry will just continue to blow to the outside of the racetrack, so you as a driver have to mentally remember that. If you normally run a little bit high in that corner, you have to run down for a few laps. Whoa, 3 wide racing there as you see Ryan Foster.
Yeah, the white car there on the outside a little bit loose, and we got spinning in turn
Ryan Howard, Stephen Wallace.
Stephen Wallace trying to check up and get corrected. Frank Kimmel going through it. We see the 59 bringing out our 6th caution of the day.
Wow, Ryan Howard was in 10th position at the time. You see the 7 car of Frank Halfhammer.
Boy, with a new, he brought back Long John Silvers.
Yes.
Was looking forward to hopefully having them on board, as well as another sponsor that they were going to bring on, Pepsi, trying to keep them on for potentially the entire 2007 season.
Yep, just too many.
Wrong place
wide.
at the Wrong place at the wrong time.
Ryan out on that outside groove. Not sure that was a smart move on this restart. I know he got bottled up, but you got to be a little bit patient. And Frank, unfortunately, was in the middle and caught the blunt of that. Another look, just 3 wide. You see Frank was going through the casualty. Look at Steve Wallace, loose, right, left. Good job of holding on to that race car.
Great job for Steve Wallace. Right along with the New South Lemonade.
Now this will scare you.
61. He got clipped there.
Oh.
The right rear. Whoa. He got clipped by Frank Caphammer.
Yes, he did.
So he may end up having the same problem that Kimmel had.
Here's out the windshield of Frank Kimmel again. Frank saying, oh no, not again. Man.
Slow way down, and then when you see you've got it clearing, go.
Yep, you got to stand on the gas because you'll get it from the backside if you don't.
Saw the damage on the right side just very briefly. Don, what are they talking about with that 61?
Well, I just got a very unusual request, one that I'd never gotten before down here from the crew chief on the 61, Steve Darn, tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, call your speed buddies and see if they'll point that camera at the right front so we can see how well or well not is that right front fender. So he's hoping you guys will take a peek at that right front fender for them so they can act accordingly.
Well, there's the right front fender, and I don't think that's the problem. It's toward the rear was the problem.
Yep, it's toward the back side of there. Unfortunate for him, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference, guys. I really don't. It's behind the rear wheel, we believe, at this point, and if it's behind the rear wheel, I don't think it'll make a whole lot of difference as long as that fender is not down on the tire to where it'll cut that tire.
We have a view of potentially how this took place. Again, we heard Frank Caphammer. Right there is where he makes the contact, and that looked more than just the rear. I think he may have hit the right rear tire.
Yeah, it's possible he could have gotten into the right rear tire, and as a safety precaution, oh yeah, extensive damage to the right side, right in the door area, not making a whole lot of aerodynamic differences, but if they would have maybe gotten one of them tires or knocked a valve stem off, that could let the air out of the tire, and that could be big. So I think this is a smart move to come down, check that right side out. Possibly they'll throw some tires on this.
He's got a competitive car. I mean, that's not an issue. And the fact that there are only 13 cars on the lead lap, that obviously is another issue of bringing them down on pit road. Don?
Yeah, guys, you know, this car we've talked about is so good and so potentially dominant that they're going to take out all the precautions they can here and look at that right side, study it real good under caution while they have this time to look at it and fix whatever they need to fix, but better safe than sorry. We know the car's good, and they want to make sure it's going to be good right on through to the checkered flag.
And you know, this is the second car that's got caught in a wreck like this after topping off with fuel. So you got what we talked about, being in the back and being careful.
Wrong place at the wrong time. So Stephen Wallace brings the car back out on the racetrack. Billy Venturini, not too disappointed with the fact that he's out in front in Chicago. And welcome back to Chicago. Billy Venturini, Chicago, Illinois native, out in front of the field, feeling pretty good right now. Guessing that they know they can go to the end of this race on fuel. Guy not feeling so good is Stephen Wallace, and that's 61. Now, he has a win from earlier this season back in Kentucky, but most recently was Michigan, and he did not have a good feeling about that race. Stephen Wallace leading, cuts the tire, gets into the wall, and so not happy at all, brings the car down pit road. The car's fault. Bad car. Bad car. But frustration for Stephen Wallace.
Helmet was in the way.
Yeah, decided to pull into the infield. And just, that's a disappointing feeling when you've got a car that you know could win the race and something like that happens.
Oh, it is. It's so much frustration, especially for Steven. You know, he wants to win so bad again, and he knows he's got the dominant car, and then when you blow a tire or something that you really can't control, it is frustrating as a driver. But as the years goes on, I'm sure his dad, Rusty, will tell him, you know, you got to get over that. Just let it go.
Yeah, Stephen Wallace running the full season next year in the NASCAR Busch Series, so getting a little more seat time here in this series. Again, has that win at Kentucky, looking for his second win of 2006, but he has quite a few cars to get by before he can even think about grabbing the hardware in Chicago. Billy Venturini grabbing the green flag. We're back underway. 6 cautions have come out today. A lot of them have taken place on restarts.
Yeah, they have.
So we're clean through this one.
Billy got cleared on the bottom there, drove to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like the 16 car, Justin Allgaier, possibly on the outside. Not sure who that was. Good run.
3 wide down the backstretch, almost 4 wide. Jorge Getter's in the 24 on the inside. Oh man, Jorge Getter's, Justin Allgaier splitting the slower lap traffic.
Justin Allgaier being shown as your leader that time by. Running the high side. Whoa, way high up in that speedy dry. Not where you want to be. We talked about it. Do not want to be that high. Wow.
And I'm telling you folks, the amazing thing is how fast Billy Venturini has fallen out of the top spot. He's dropped all the way back to 10th position. So Justin Allgaier and Jorge Getter's battling for the top spot. Jorge Getter's now scored as our leader as they went across the start-finish line.
Yeah, Billy just got a little bit high there and lost ground. Again, you get up in that high side with that speedy dry. He did the right thing, though. He backed out of the throttle. You know, he lost 9 positions, but, you know, at least he's still here. He can work his way back to the front. There
That's
you see Billy
Venturini there.
Texas Corral, new sponsor on that car.
Unbelievable fall from the top spot for Billy Venturini.
Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating as a driver, but you got to keep cool. Billy's here in the big picture. He's here to win races, but he also running for championships, and he knows what he has to do. Could win that Triple Crown here today.
Here's a great story. Jorge Getters out of Mexico City, Mexico, started this race in 19th and now out in front. There's a battle for the 5th position, the 61 of Stephen Wallace. We talked about how strong that car is, getting by the 16 of Justin Allgaier. So Stephen Wallace setting his sights up front. Allgaier into the wall in the 16, just behind Stephen Wallace.
Justin drove down in the corner and it just pushed the nose way up the corner. Again, you see the tires shredding off that car. He's got a right front tire, a right side tire shredding on that race car.
He needs to get to the inside of the racetrack because we're going to see a lot more debris coming off of that 16 before he makes it back on pit road. This is a battle for the top spot. Jorge Getters just in front of Scott Lagasse.
Scott's able to keep it down on the bottom, back into throttle. He wants to beat him back around this lap, but Jorge able to power on past finish line.
Jorge Getters still in front when they cross the start-finish line. A lot of damage to the right front of that car, and now Scott Lagasse has taken over the top spot in Chicago.
Jorge Getters did the right thing. He moved up the racetrack. He knows that he cannot run with Scott Lagasse at this point of the race. Let him by, get back single file, did not get up on the top side of this racetrack where it appears to be drastically slick.
Scott Lagasse is saying, everyone, please run a straight line around this racetrack. Nobody be aggressive. My car is better on longer runs, and I am out in front of the field right now, and I'm going to increase my lead.
Out the windshield of Stephen Wallace's car as he works through traffic, currently being scored in the 4th position. Looking on the inside of Blake for 3rd position. Got a good race car. He's got to be patient.
Scott Lagasse could add his name to the list of first-time winners in the ARCA REMAX Series, as well as different winners this season. Jorge Getters also could throw his name on that list. Billy Venturini, with a win earlier this season, dropped back on the restart. Lindsay, what took place there?
Well, I was just able to talk to his crew chief and Father Bill, who said that he got hit. He said that the problem that Billy had was that he got hit by the 66 car. Is that what you guys saw?
Well, you know, it took place so quickly, we weren't sure exactly what happened there. So I'm glad Billy was able to clear that up for us. Yeah,
well, he did, and apparently they're not too happy about it. So they said that's the problem. That's why he's fallen all the way back to 11.
Well, patience are not going to be good here for Stephen Wallace. He about put the bumper to the 32.
The apron. He was on the apron, Rick, when he passed him. He says, enough's enough. I got to get by the 32 car. I'm losing ground. There's only 36 laps left, so he checked out. But he's headed to the front. Got a good race car, able to drive right down to the white line where everybody else slides up a nose or two, a foot or two when they hit the bottom, but Stephen's able to just keep it right on the bottom of the racetrack. As long as he gets back on the gas, that car really sticks.
Stephen Wallace Now moving into second and reeling in the 4 of Scott Lagasse. So it becomes a 2-car race. Scott Lagasse, Steve Wallace. Nose to tail now as Lagasse will try to hold off the 61, but the 61 charging very hard.
He's strong and he knows he's coming. I don't believe he's going to try and hold him up at this point of the race, but you know, he's got to do what's right. He moves up the racetrack. You see Steven at the bottom. Let Steven power by him, fall in line. Wallace faster the last time by than Scott Lagasse. And Lagasse says, no, not so quickly there, Stephen Wallace. I'm going to race you for this race win. Wallace takes over the top spot. Lagasse drops back to second, but I'm sure Lagasse is not going to fall too far behind. No, he's not. Scott's got to be careful here today. He's run so good all year, but he just really hasn't been able to finish all the races that he wants, just for one reason or another. Good top 5 finish for Scott Lagasse here today at Chicago would be a victory. So I think he knows that, and that's what he needs to do. He's taken advantage, though, of traffic as Stephen Wallace is working his way through traffic here. Lagasse with a great car here. He's had very good equipment, but had problems at numerous tracks. Some of them being pit strategy, some of them being running out of fuel. He's been out in front of the field before, and Dodge has said, you know what, we are throwing all of our resources at Scott Lagasse for this race. We're going to give him the best piece we can and see how well he does. And so they brought people in from the IRL engineers to make sure that fuel mileage is factored into this race. And they've really given him a great car, and it shows right here as he's able to stay with the 61 of Stephen Wallace. Yep, there you see the 3-car of Jeremy Clements. A couple laps down at this point of the race, but actually 1 lap down, trying to keep from going another lap down. He's able to run with Steve Wallace. It's amazing. Steve has not been able to drive right around him. So Jeremy Clements knows that he has to go, and he must have put it in overdrive. Well, Steve Wallace is faster in the corner than Jeremy Clements is, but Clements is not giving him the preferred line, and so Wallace has to stay out of the gas longer and is not able to get back in it, and that's when Jeremy Clements is able to pull back out and not give him that line. Oh, you're exactly right. That and the fact that the air on the nose, he's not getting clean air on that nose because the 3 cars right in front of him. So it's hard when you don't get that. There you go. He's looking at the bottom side. He's got some clean air on the nose. He's able to get down in the corner now, possibly get it turned a little better. Stephen Wallace cut to the inside there as they were coming out of the turn, was able to get by the 3 of Jeremy Clements. And now look at the distance between the 4 and the 61. So Scott Lagasse not able to stay right with Steve Wallace. Yep. Frank Kimmel, looking for his 8th championship in the ARCA REMAX Series, has just taken over the 5th position from Jorge Getters. You see him waved out. He waved at Jorge as he went by, said thanks. I seen the hand come out the window. Jorge moved over, let him by, and that was the right thing to do because he knows Frank Kimmel's running for championship here, and he know he really couldn't hold him up. Inside of 30 laps remaining. Again, the Bill France Triple Crown continues. The 32 of Blake Bjorklund running in 3rd right now. If he continues in that position, he would claim the Bill France Triple Crown. Having a great run for Blake Bjorklund. Stephen Wallace getting by the 21 of Todd Bowser. 16 car Justin Allgaier was running with his pack a few minutes ago. He's behind the wall in the garage, obviously having some mechanical problems, and his day is done also. Very strong car, led the first 50 laps of this race, and now back out in front. He's led the most recent 6 laps. So Stephen Wallace, that New South Lemonade, number 61, very strong again. This is the similar number, same car as David Stremme back in the first Michigan race, lapped the entire field. And so they have known how to set cars up and really put together impressive runs for this team. Well, they have, and especially it really shows on these super speedways. They know aerodynamics, and that's big. To make a car comfortable on a super speedway is big. Lindsay, what you got down there?
I've got a disappointed Justin Allgaier. Justin, I had just heard you on the radio discussing fuel strategy, saying that this car can turn on a dime. How frustrating is this for you?
Oh, it's very frustrating. I mean, we've struggled all weekend, and Larry Moore, my crew chief, and I have been trying to figure out something to make the car turn better in the middle, and we never could get it. And I've been pushing up the racetrack all day, and we finally hit something that made it turn a lot better in the middle, and it's a shame for these guys. I mean, you know, these crew guys gave me great pit stops, and we were just kind of riding for the first 80, 100 laps, just trying to get to the end, and we knew we had a pretty good car right there after that restart, and we actually led a lap there, and had one of the lap cars. He and I kind of got together, got out of the groove, and went back to, I think, about third, and just going to kind of ride for a few more laps and get going and get back up to the front and hopefully make it right at the end of it. But, you know, it's just a shame.
Justin Allgaier, who ends his day with a pretty nasty wreck right into the wall. Justin, forgot that you're okay.
Thank you. And I want to thank Century Trading. They came on for this race, and like I said, thank all the crew, and thank God for giving me the ability to do this. I guess it didn't end very well, but we'll be back next week at Salem.
Justin Allgaier, a good attitude, very good racer, very strong racer this year. Blake Bjorklund now trying to catch up to Scott Lagasse. That will be a battle for second if he's able to reel in the number 4.
Blake finishing 5th last week at DuQuoin, 20 years old. Works in the family excavating and construction business.
I tell you what, Blake really putting together a very strong 3 races. Toledo, he was 3rd, like you had mentioned, DuQuoin 5th, and now running in the top 3 again here at Chicagoland. I mean, this is a dominant Bill France Triple Crown performance.
Oh, it is, and that would be, you know, he struggled all year, been up and down, but to win the Bill France, I mean, that would be big.
6 of Dexter Bean, currently in the 4th position, and then it's Frank Kimmel in 5th.
Hey, Dexter, you know, he's been up and down all year also. Just a tough year for Dexter, back and forth, but again, it would be like a victory for him, you know, here at Chicago to have a good finish. 18 races in the ARCA REMAX Series, 2 top 10s, was 4th at Pocono.
Frank Kimmel, if he wants to look at the big picture, this would be a great day for him in the big picture scheme of things, as Bobby Gerhart currently in the 19th position, 2nd in the points. Frank Kimmel running 5th, so it'd be a great points day for the 46 team.
It would be for that. You know, Bobby Gerhart again had trouble. Frank had trouble. Bobby had trouble. This championship has just been bouncing around week after week, and we talk about it in and out, but it just seems like it goes back and forth.
Wow, Stephen Wallace negotiating around the lap traffic. And that's Mario Goslin in the number 12 on the outside, not wanting to give any room.
Nope, Mario's got a good race car. Just, you know, wants to race hard, does not want to lose any more ground on board Mario, but he knows that he does not have the piece that Stephen Wallace has here today.
Here to get back into the throttle. You had mentioned earlier the tires don't fall off that much, so we wouldn't expect to see a big change as we have just over 21 laps of racing to go in this race. We wouldn't see a big change probably if someone would come in and change tires.
No, you're exactly right, and that I mean, that's a big deal. These tires are so hard. I mean, you know, they're able to stay out there for some time, just stay on the tires, and they really don't go away. A very hard tire. Some of the teams were concerned, though, after long green flag runs, the tire's so hard it actually generates heat. When you got a really hard tire, it actually generates a lot more heat than a softer tire does. So you have to be careful not to overheat the tire, and then it could blister and come apart. So on long green flag runs, I'm sure these teams up front are talking about that.
Well, one thing that Stephen Wallace does not want to have happen is tire problems.
No.
It's taken wins away from him before. He looks as though he's got this one wrapped up. 5 seconds separate Wallace and Lagasse, first and second. Welcome back. The 7th caution of the day has come out for debris on the racetrack. Imagine that. After 6 other cautions, that there would be some sort of debris on this racetrack. So 7 cautions, 38 laps of caution. And Blake Bjorklund in the 32 decides he is going to come down pit road. Lindsay.
They're bringing Blake down so that they can maybe adjust his chassis a little bit. They're going to give him 4 tires, give him fuel. Right now, as you see, he had been running 3rd. He said the car felt fantastic, reporting it was a tiny bit tight, but they're hoping now that they can get him right back up there, guys.
Well, this is a bit of strategy. The 32 of Blake Bjorklund, the 25 of Billy Venerini, Justin South, Pete Shepard, all cars on pit road. Well, Jorge Getter's also on pit road.
Billy Venturini. You know, we talked about it, Rick. I'm not sure. If I was up towards the front in the top 5, I'm not sure I'd have come in. You know, we got 16 laps left, 15 laps. Probably by the time we go green, it could be 12 or so. Not sure I'd have come in if I was running the top 5 if I had a good race car. Now, if I had a race car that was not handling well, listening to Billy Venturini on the radio, said, hey, listen, we need to make some changes if we want to move forward. We need to come in. Let's top her off with fuel. Let's make some changes. That's a good call. But from 5th back, I'm not sure, you know, Blake's would have been a good call in my opinion.
Well, Blake Bjorklund making that call, and now we'll find out if that is the winning strategy. Steve Wallace with an extremely strong car out in front of this field. Then it's the 4 of Scott Lagasse. Dexter Bean in the number 6 has moved up to 3rd position.
Mario Gosselin on pit row, currently being scored in 12th position. I mean, that's okay. He just gone a lap down, so he wants to try and make some changes in this car, possibly, and a couple more cautions. So if he can get the 12 car, the mighty easy car up front, could possibly get a lap back. He's got 3 career wins in the ARCA Series. First ever race that Mario was in at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, he won.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
Just a little bit more impressive than Dwayne Bryan winning his 2nd ever ARCA REMAX Series start, which he did at this racetrack.
I mean, it's so hard to win in this series this day and age, so to come and win races in the ARCA REMAX Series as a part-time competitor is quite the chore.
A lot of these lap-down cars now making final adjustments.
There you see the 9 car, Tim Russell, who's currently a nice, oh, there's Mario, slow, listening to radio conversation on Mario's car. Little gearbox problem. Said that he really didn't know, wasn't sure he had 2nd gear.
Looking like he's about to turn left, the hard left, into the garage area.
Not good. See the ARCA official standing next to him there, telling him need to back up. Not sure if he's trying to get back on the racetrack and finish this race. He's making the hard left into the garage area. Unfortunate for Mario Gosselin.
Blake Bjorklund again was running 3rd and decided to come down pit road. Lindsay, what's the story there?
Well, I'm here with his crew chief, Mike Chaffee. Mike, now Blake is sitting 6th. What has his strategy become now?
Well, our strategy is to go back to the front now. We didn't really have anything for the leaders the way we were running, so made a couple adjustments, put 4 tires on, and we're going for it now.
And now he is obviously one of the contenders right out front for the Triple Crown. Tell me, what does that mean to Blake?
He's really excited. He was so keyed up when he learned that we were leading the points after DeCoin. And I mean, obviously the name Bill France, it'd just be so awesome to win that. So that's going to be our focus right now.
Okay, right now, Mike Chaffee getting back to work, trying to get Blake up 5 spots to take victory lane.
That's a tall order.
Yep.
In front of him. And the tallest order, I think, is Stephen Wallace with an extremely strong car.
But what helped Blake there, too, is a lot of the cars from 5th back came down pit row also. So in that cycle, Blake came in 3rd, but he's actually being scored in 5th position now, so he really only lost 2 positions. That's not as bad.
Again, we talked about this being a companion event. There is another event scheduled on the racetrack immediately following the ARCA REMAX Series race.
See Stephen Wallace. Bring him up to speed here. Be careful not to spin his tires. Seen a lot of that here today. Scott Lagasse right on his bumper. Scott's got an awful good car too, so could be a good shootout here.
Stephen Wallace bringing the field to the restart. We're back underway. Scott Lagasse looks to the inside, right on the back bumper of Stephen Wallace.
Wow.
In line, looking low, looking clear.
Took a peek down low.
He looked for a minute, but Stephen shut the door. Said, I'll have no part of that.
So strong, that car, as he motors down the backstretch, putting 3 car lengths between himself and the 4. Dexter Bean and Frank Kimmel 3rd and 4th.
Yep, he is extremely strong on the restarts. It looks like Scott Lagasse, both restarts, Scott was able to gain some ground on him, but not able enough to get back under him down in the corner.
Frank Kimmel, another impressive run for him at this racetrack. In the 5 races that have been run here, Frank Kimmel's average finish is 10th. Looking to improve that average today as he currently runs 4th. And looking on the inside for 3rd.
330 starts for Frank Kimmel in the ARCA REMAX Series. Currently 6th in IROC points, tied with Mark Martin and Sam Hornish Jr. 3-way tie there for 6th in the IROC, so quite impressive.
Pretty good names to be tied with, I would say.
I would be happy.
NASCAR legend Mark Martin, Sam Cornish. We're looking at the points race between Kimmel and Gerhart. Gerhart having a little bit more problems than Kimmel did today. Kimmel out in front by 260 now. So it's almost time to start etching the championship trophy. Kimmel looking for number 8 in his career. Dexter Bean still holding off the 46 of Kimmel, though. Don Radebaugh, what's going on with Dexter?
Well, there's a little more impetus for Dexter Bean to hold off the 46 because his career best finish was 4th at Pocono. So if he can hang tight there for a few more laps, he'll rip off a career best 3rd today at Chicagoland. The car is very good, not too tight, not too loose. As I mentioned earlier, Dexter says it's the best handling race car he's ever had. He's very happy, just hoping to hold off Frank in the latter stages, and if they can go green to the end, he says his car gets better and better on the longer green flag runs, gentlemen.
Well, I don't think he's going to have to worry about Frank Kimmel. I think who he's going to have to worry about is that 32 of Blake Bjorklund.
Well, we talked about that. He's on 4 new sneakers, got good tires. He's going to the front with 9 laps to go. Bjorklund looks the inside of Frank Kimmel, 4th position, and he takes it. Blake is on a roll. He's got a real good race car here, and he's on new tires. Real important.
Fresh tires for the 32 of Blake Bjorklund. How will that play out as we have coming up on 8 laps of racing to go?
When Blake came in, he was in 3rd position. He's currently being scored in the 4th position, so he needs to get around Dexter Bean, and he'll be back where he was. But I tell you what, Stephen Wallace and Scott Lagasse have checked out at this point.
Well, and he's going to get that 3rd position. I mean, you can see it that Blake Bjorklund is faster than Dexter Bean right now. It's just a matter of time. But can they get up to the guys that are running 1st and 2nd? And right here, a great side-by-side battle for 6th. And here they go for 3rd. It's Blake Bjorklund on the inside of Dexter Bean. That's Dexter Bean that was holding on to 3rd, and Blake Bjorklund takes it away. Bjorklund now working on 2nd.
Well, he's got good tires on that car again, and that's big deal to a driver. That's confidence. We can run down in the corner and just really get back in that gas, and the car doesn't slide around. That means a lot to us as a race car driver.
The problem is, with just 6 laps of racing to go, Blake Bjorklund is going to be probably 3 seconds back from Steve Wallace. Can he make up actually 4 seconds? I'm not sure. Lindsay.
Well, we were just coming on our way back to pit road, and we passed by Blake Bjorklund's birthday cake. This is from yesterday. Of course, that's when he turned 21. His crew guys told me before, his car is so good. They firmly believe that tonight they will be doing a joint celebration of both birthday and victory lane.
Hey, well, Lindsay, looks like some of that cake's gone. You've been eating a little of that.
You know what? Honestly, I dropped it on my hand.
I was just wondering if she was
if
we were going to be able to talk to her anymore, because she might have her mouth full with cake.
Yeah.
5 laps of racing to go at Chicago.
Well, I tell you who's got to worry also. We're seeing it right now. 2nd position, Scott Lagasse. Blake Bjorklund is catching him fast.
Here goes Blake Bjorklund. Battle for 2nd. He's going to go to the inside of the 4 of Scott Lagasse. Can he make the pass as he goes to 3?
Scott knows he's on new tires. I'm sure his team's told him, Scott, he's a little faster than we are. Use your head. Again, Scott Lagasse Jr. has to finish races here to be good, and a top 5 finish for him today would be like a victory.
The problem is, with all of the amazing things that Blake Bjorklund has done to get into 2nd, he is still 4.5 seconds behind Stephen Wallace. Stephen Wallace, with just 4 laps to go, has almost a 4.5 second lead.
Yeah, Stephen Wallace has set sail, and he has to kind of pace himself. I don't know if you remember, I believe it was Michigan, late in the race. Stephen was gone, little right front tire. Again, I'm sure he does not want that to happen again, so he has to pace himself, and that's what he's doing here right now.
Speed at the line. Stephen Wallace, a 169.
Wow.
Blake Bjorklund, 167. So Stephen Wallace still the dominant car, even though he doesn't have the fresher tires.
3 laps to go. Again, he has to be careful, work his way through traffic. He's got a 4-second lead, so he can kind of throttle back just a little bit, work his way through traffic, be cautious, and be there for the checkered flag.
Stephen Wallace, 2 laps of racing to go, 3 miles remaining for the New South Lemonade, number 61, looking for his 2nd win of the 2006 season.
Out the windshield, on board with Stephen Wallace as he passes Norm Benning down in the corner, able to run that high side. Good grip in this race car, able to run up there in that second groove now late in the race and be just as fast. 23 car, Ricky Sanders, passes him on the outside.
You see the distance. You can't even see the 32 of Blake Bjorklund when we zoom out. That's how far Stephen Wallace is in front of Blake Bjorklund. Now he has increased that lead to over 5 seconds. This is the final lap. Stephen Wallace looking for his second win, third career win in the ARCA REMAX Series.
Rode up elevator with Rusty Wallace on the way here, Rick. He was excited. He said, we got a good hot rod. We just got to bring it home.
Here comes that hot rod out of turn number 4. This will be the 6th different winner at Chicago. Stephen Wallace gets the checkered flag.
Good day for him.
In second, Blake Bjorklund, Scott Lagasse for third, Dexter Bean fourth, Frank Kimmel fifth. A great points day for Kimmel. Scott Lagasse with the career best finish of third today.
Billy Venturini sixth. Good job for him. Was able to bring it back home.
That second place finish by Blake Bjorklund, also a career best for him. So he will be able to celebrate his 21st birthday in style, getting a career best in the ARCA REMAX Series. The celebration will be taking place shortly as Stephen Wallace will make his way in front of the grandstands. There's your Bill France Triple Crown winner.
Good
Blake
job.
Bjorklund with an impressive performance over the past 3 races.
Got to be happy with that.
Stephen Wallace has pulled the front end of that 61 up to the wall and smoking the tires for the crowd here today.
He wants to light them up. Look at the rubber flying off them tires. Man.
Even without the burnout, I think that car could have been smoking. It was so fast.
I think you're right. Oop. Blew the right rear tire.
Maybe we went just a little bit too hard on that.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's still trying to do burnouts, but I think somebody ought to tell him, you probably ought to stop that.
Yep. Motor guy not real happy about that sometime. See Billy Venture a bunch. Dexter Bean having an outstanding run today.
Wayne Carroll, our SK crew chief of the race. The crew chief for the number 4 of Scott Lagasse. Very impressive run for that team today, finishing in third.
Cunningham Motorsports entry.
Riding along with Stephen Wallace. The last time we showed the
looks a little happier.
Showed the replay of the last time we rode along on the inside of Stephen Wallace's car when he came down pit road. Disappointed, through the helmet. Well, this time there's going to be other things thrown up in the air. Excitement for Stephen Wallace about to take place in Victory Lane. We'll be back for it. Coverage of the ARCA REMAX Series from Chicago is presented by REMAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. And brought to you in part by SK Tools, the official hand tools of ARCA. And now let's go to Victory Lane with Don Radebaugh.
Whoa, life is good in the land of Lincoln, especially if you're in the Wallace family. Let me slide right in here. I belong to this Victory Lane celebration. It's a happy one for sure. Steve, tell me about your day. You brought it home with a beaten, battered race car, yet here you are in Victory Lane. You almost made it seem simple. Was it really that easy today?
Well, you know, with when like got such good cars out, you know, the New South Lemonade Hand Group Dodge running real good. My dad, you know, my team built me a real good car. You know, if we like thing with Silent Pole, we almost set a new track record and completely dominated all days. But you know, there for sure, like dang, for surely some good cars. You know, Scott Lagasse's real good. 51, Brandon Witt was good. Frank Kimmel always good. So it's just always cool to like come home like with a cool victory like this in a dominating style.
Cool, man. What do you think, Dad?
I'm real happy with it. I'm real excited. He's went through a lot of good runs, dominating these races, only had problems, and finally had a fairly clean race today. Toward the right side up on, that had me nervous, but good run. They got the whole team here. They've been supporting him, and it's all about getting Steven all the seat time we possibly can this year for that full series in Busch next year. We want to thank the New South Lemonade guys. Looks like they're coming on our Busch car next year. We're really excited about that, but great year, man.
It really is, and you had some close calls out there. Tell me about the close call on the racetrack. It almost ended for you.
Yeah, we did have a very, very close call.